Hey, what's up guys? My name is Alex, and today I'm going to be talking to you guys about my skydiving experience. Here we go. So many people who know me know that I love adventure and adrenaline rushes. That's a big thing to me. So to get the opportunity to go skydiving was definitely something that I never expected. You always see in the movies people skydiving and jumping from planes and walking across the tarmac, but you never think that you'll do it yourself until you do it. And to have that experience under your belt is definitely something that is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity more than one of the biggest concerns, if you will, about some people who want to go skydiving but don't want to at the same time is the question, does it feel like a roller coaster? And to answer that question, no, it does not at all. On roller coasters, you have that feeling where you're going up the hill and then it drops you all of a sudden and your stomach goes to your head and you just scream. Skydiving doesn't have that. The only closest thing it has to that is whenever you're falling and they pull the parachute and you fly up. So for those who want to go skydiving but either are too scared or don't know what to do or anything like that, this is a video for you guys. This video will explain the feelings I felt before, during, and after the skydive, well, the 2 skydives that I got to do. Hopefully you guys will get insight from my experience and be able to persuade yourself or your parents to let you go skydiving later on. To start out with, I wanted to talk about my feelings before skydiving. So, I forgot what I was gonna say. The one thing that actually got me to go skydiving was probably my friends, because they signed up for it also, and I wanted to go with them. And to see skydiving in the movies, that's always made it look so cool to me and so interesting that it made me want to go even more. To get to go skydiving now in my age was something that I never thought would happen, but it's just another thing that I can now check off my bucket list and keep going with the things that I wanted to do. So the feelings that I felt before skydiving, like on the way there and getting our campsite ready there, wasn't really nervous. It was more of just anxious, like I wanted to just get it over with. But I didn't realize how fun it would be until afterwards. Imagine that feeling you get when you want to ride a roller coaster that you haven't rode before, and it's a new thing, a new experience. You're kind of nervous, you're kind of anxious, you're kind of, I don't want to do this, but at the same time I do. It was that feeling. You kind of get the pre-roller coaster butterflies feelings beforehand, but you don't have that same effect as a roller coaster does whenever you're dropping. Once you get to the drop zone or the landing zone, whatever you want to call it, they teach you how to do skydiving. Basically, they give you a video. A guy teaches you on the video as well as afterwards, and he basically teaches you how to land, what to do in case of emergencies, all that kind of stuff, the basic stuff. So once you learn that, in my case, we jumped the next day, but usually you jump right after that. And so what we did is we camped over, and then we put our jumpsuits on, and they kind of told us, okay, you're going to be attached to my back, we're going to jump out of the plane, and we're going to fall.
Alright, Alex. We're once again at 7,000 feet. How you feeling?
A bit nervous. Yeah.
David!
What?
How you feeling, man?
Nervous and excited.
Yeah! Alright, Alex. Couple more minutes, David's gonna get you all hooked up. That door's gonna open, and we're just gonna go have some fun. Right on? Alright, man, I'll see you out there.
We get the jumpsuits on, and we walk out to the tarmac, and we see our plane come in and just like roll right in front of us. And at that time, you're like, crap.
Flight 892 is now boarding. All passengers, please proceed to the gate.
one of the things they told us was something kind of cool, was that if you go skydiving but you haven't been in a plane before at all, then you can say that you've taken off in a plane but then jumped out and never landed with it. So there's one for your books. The plane is probably the size of like a super small plane. It seats maybe 15 people tops. And so you're in there attached to somebody, somebody's usually behind them attached to somebody else, and there's about 4 or 5 single jumpers ahead of you that jump out, do the recording, do the tricks, whatever. Just so for me, both times I went, I was the first one on the plane and the last one's off. And so you get on the plane and you climb 14,000 feet in like 15 minutes. If you've been on a plane before, you know that feeling you get when you're climbing and it's just constant climbing. It's kind of like that, except faster. And so you're climbing, and then all of a sudden you just plateau at 14,000 feet, and you're going about 90 miles an hour, and all of a sudden they yank the door up, and you hear the wind going through, you hear everything clanking around, you see 1 jumper, 2 jumper, 3 jumper, and then next thing you know, the person behind you, the person you're clipped onto, just moves up, and you're like, crap, I'm about to fall. And so you move up on the bench in the plane, and you just keep going and keep going, and all of a sudden you're at the window. Your feet are inches away from nothing. There's a dude in front of you who has a camera, and he's like, hey, smile for the camera. And at this point you're like freaking out, like you don't know what you're doing. You're about to jump out of the plane. You don't got time to smile. And so they're like, 1, 2.
I can feel how it feels to be free again.
You see it in planes where you can look out the window and see people looking like ants or cars like ants or whatever. But to see that when you're falling is definitely something that is unexplainable.
I'm still breathing. My body was freezing. You stopped the bleeding.
At this point, you're gliding and it's just kind of like, wow, that's beautiful. And it's something that is almost like unexplainable in the sense that you don't know how to explain it, because you see things from a perspective that you never thought you would see them before, especially something that you think is really big on the ground, but in reality it's like super duper small. They had, the place that we were jumping at had like a mile wide drop zone, and when you're standing on the ground it looks really big, but when you're jumping out of a plane at 14,000 feet it looks about that big. It's unexplainable, basically. It's unbelievable to see it that way. And it's about a 5-minute drop, so you're there for a while. And to see other planes go by, to see other skydivers jumping, to just glide in the sky and fly is something you didn't know you always wanted to do. So you're gliding down and you get to about 1,000 feet and your instructor tells you to pull your legs up. This way you don't get hurt and they land safely. And it's, once you land, you're like, woo!
Hold your breath and count.
Welcome to Earth. So, you think you're gonna do it a 3rd time?
I want to.
Yeah? Today?
Not today. You don't know what to do, but you feel like you can do anything you want. And that feeling is one of the greatest feelings you'll probably ever feel. You can do indoor skydiving, and that's one thing, but to go out there and jump out of a plane at 14,000 feet is something that very few people get to accomplish. Coming from somebody who has jumped twice and gotten over that fear of falling, I highly recommend skydiving if you have a fear of falling or want to overcome any of your fears, because afterwards you feel like you can. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did and learned a little bit about skydiving, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Goodbye.